Now let's start customizing the security builder chain. And in this video, we will see some advanced details things also. So till now, we have seen how Spring Security by default or let's say here, the default Spring Security configuration of your Spring Security filter chain. So to get started with our customization, we need to define our main or Spring Security filter chain to override the Spring default implementation. So let's just get into our project and create a new package. Just name it as config. Inside this package, we will be creating another configuration class, that is security column. Let's just create a new class, which is uh, spin our security config. Inside this class, we will annotate it as a configuration. Make this class as configured and suitable for each. We will just define another beam and let mention the security chain as a reference type. Just import it. Default or custom security filter chain, and inside this we will be having HTTP security as a parameter, and you can also copy and paste this particular configuration. Let's just run this out and let's copy and paste this. Okay. So now we are getting on that what this being will do. So we'll just rename it to custom security chain. So by default, all the requests are getting authenticated. Let's just remote and we'll use HTTP dot authorize HTTP request, and inside of this we will be taking a lambda expression, which is and this is after authorization manager, and then r dot to match the regular expression or the specific endpoint. We can use the request matchers, and inside this request matcher, what we can do, we can either specify the hard-coded API or we can also use the regular. So right now we can just use regular, which is balance slash and level star. What it will do? So it will let me just complete it. Comma quotes slash cards. So we are just mentioning what all are secure APIs slash loans, so balance, cards, loans, accounts, So I think these are all needs to be authenticated. So we can get authenticated we can either close it. Then we also need some of the endpoints like your contacts or your notices needs to be permanent. So in that particular case, either we can use the same or thing or r dot request matchers and your contact notices, and we will use permitter. So there are a couple of n number of methods that are available. So you can do not wait access denial. So denial is basically used when you route one, roll out, name the API to authenticate. It has all authority rules, all rules. So that these rules, authorities we will see later. But right now our requirement is to permit all on this particular APIs. And apart from this, permit all, we are having the we want to enable the from level inside this customizer dot with defaults and with defaults and http dot http basic we will also enable right now, and let's send this, and we are this returning. Now I think I missed from the blanket here. Okay. And this will not come. Let me just authenticate it. Okay, fine. Now let's just run our application and we'll see. So we have balance, system error. So it's very expression you'll execute and this accounts, cards, contacts in public, loans is secured, and notices is permanently. So let's just start our application and see. Okay. So we can see some of the logs. So let's just go to the browser and localhost 8080, and I'll just hit contacts API v1. This is our public endpoint. Okay. So I think the issue is with our regex. So let's just to go to our what I think contact and contacts. Okay, so here the path was correct. We just again go to security config and paste it here, and this cross-site notices. Okay, so this is I have not replaced here. This is and contacts is contacts. Okay, fine. Just restart. Let's go to our this particular. We just close the scan. Let's just in this API. Okay, so we are now properly access the API. If you can see here in the log, I search custom build security filter chain. So this particular method we have created or bean we have created, it is basically overriding the default security filter chain bean. Okay, so let's just hit one of our secure APIs. So let me just go to our security config, and I just put also this is API also listen steps fixes. Okay, we have the notice details. Let's just hit one of the balance API. Let's just go to here balance, and okay, so now our login page is now populated. Let's just enter our default password, which is admin and admin. I just took the wrong password, incorrect, admin, and so now we are authenticated. Let's just access a couple of other pages also. So let's just go to here, cards, copy, and balance cards. Yeah, the card details, copy, loans. Yeah, the loans. Okay, something has happened. Loans. The loans API B1 details. Loans copy. Okay, so now we have not provided the regular expression. Here the thread is not working, but for this particular case, we will only put the exact API. So let's just loans API B1 details, and let's just restart the application. So for this particular case, only this particular API is allowed. Other APIs like API, get your one or any other API will be denied, and you will get a 403. Let's just, our application is started. Let's hit enter. So why this API got authenticated? Because the session was valid. Let's just go to the application. Here's session. And this API in. Now it requires the password and now it is working. If I put any other XYZ in case 403 access to it. Next, let's just fit the accounts API. Go to here, accounts, enter. So accounts are perfectly working fine. Let's just log out from here. Log out. And then yes, now we are successfully logged out. Next, let's just go to our application, and until now we have seen this. Now let's see like how we can disable the form login. Okay, so to disable this form login, you can check the HTTP security form login configure. Lambda expression is there. So let's just use this, and HTTP security configure form configure dot. You can find a couple of methods here. Password parameter, success user, and we are something interested in this disable part. So I have put this disable. To make it a little bit short, we can use FLC form login here. Kept a little bit short. Form logins for the view and disable. Let's just restart. Okay, application has restarted. Let's just hit unsecured API. Cortex working fine. Let's just hit the accounts API, which is security. Now you can see here the form is not coming. Only this particular pop-up is coming, which is coming from your, I go to here, the HTTP basic page. HTTP basic page. So this is for your API related. If you want to hit the API via the Postman or any other REST for when you can use this. But for now, let's just also disable this. So to completely, or we can just comment it so you will not see that particular pop-up, this particular pop-up here. Let's just restart. Okay, just again hit. Yes, so now we are getting pose 3. No option to enter your credentials because the form login is disabled. Let's just enable this particular part and start the application. And if I again enter, so this is the basic authentication. If I put wrong credential, will not allow. The red credential here successfully logged in. Let's just, if you want to disable this, you can remove this, customize on customizer.with default, and you have the HTTP security basic configure. So let's just make it a little bit short. Using Miranda expression, we also fit with this. So if I restart this, now you will not get any form login. Yes, yes, no form login, no HTTP basic login. So for now, let's just enable it, because we won't be needing for our learning. We will be using this form login HTTP basic. Let's just enable it. Okay. So now let's move to our next part. So how we are going to create the our own users without using this configuration. Okay, so I want to create 2 users. Okay, so now these 2 users would be used too long. Let's just comment this part. Okay, let's just comment this part, and let's again move to security config. So like we have known the user detail service, which is responsible for, which is used to create the users. Or so let's just go to user details service, which is an interface. So inside this we have user detail load user by user, and its implementation is in-memory user detail manager, JDBC. So you want to go with in-memory user creation. You want your users to be persisted in your database, you can use JDBC user detail manager. For now, to make our understanding simple, let's just boot in user details manager. And if you can see here, there is in-memory details manager, constructor, create user details, create user, delete user, update user, user access, change password, and these type of methods. So to create the user, let's just again go to our security config, and what we will do, you will just define a bean of your user details service user details series. Okay, so we will create user details. This particular class is responsible for working, or this particular interface has an implementation done, which is user, which is responsible, or which is used to create a user details. So let's just again go to here, user details. Let's just create an admin user, and you will use users dot or user dot with user name, and my username would be admin, and dot with with username admin dot password, which is again take as an admin dot authorize. Just ignore this part. We'll see it later, but I'm just putting read and write. Okay, then just make it in like double quotes and build. So again, I will just create another user, copy and paste. I'll just create. So by admin, we will just make it a reference. I'm just creating the user name, visual, password as helper, and admin. And this is a normal user or annually user, which is no hit and 1 minute. I will state. So this two user I have created. Now just return the implementation of user details manager, and we will pass this admin user as well as the normal user. So let's just restart the application. See what is happening. So let's just clear the old here. Clear the tab. Let's just hit our public API, context API v1 details. So now what is happening here? Why we are getting this particular page? Let's just see. So we are passing all the information perfectly, and we have enabled the form login and HTTP basic login. So for now, in the inside the password, we will be mentioning no form. Okay, and we'll just later on we'll see why I have mentioned the no code. We'll just rerun. Again, it is secured accesses, right? Okay, so you need to main this BNS public also. Let's change public, and let's just run our application. See, okay, application is up and running. We will just hooked one of our public endpoint, which is working fine. Let's just hit one of our secured endpoint. So now it is required. So I'm just giving some prompt in a directory. I'm just inputting Rishabh and Rishabh. Successfully login. Let's just log and check our another user, which is Mohit T. Okay, and just I'll go to I accidentally I guess entered his accounts. It just log out and re-log in. Log out. And we'll enter. Oh, now and more tricky. Okay, so now both the user is working perfectly working fine. Now, what is this no op just before your actual password? So this is the password encoding style. So no op means no password encoder. This is not recommended in your production application. So you definitely need to use any of the password encoder provided by the Spring Security. So let's just go to one of the class or interface, which is password encoder. This is an interface which has to encode your password, and we can see there are a number of password encoders, Argon to bcrypt and other password encoder. If I go to bcrypt password encoder, you will see some of the pattern block factory, and it will convert your password into your encoded form. Now let's just create or use create a bean of password encoder also, so that we can use any other password encoder also. So I will just define the public password encoder and password encoder and list return. So there is a factory class of the password encoder. If you go password encoder factories, so let's just get into this particular class. Please import. You can see this is a factory class of all your password encoder. If you can see, the default is the bcrypt input, and others are NAC, MD4, MD5, no of PKD yet to, and other password encoders. So if definitely you need to store the password in an encoded form, because simple text format will be very much prone to the hacker. So we will be utilizing this password factory class password encoder. So let's just create delegate password encoder. So what will happen is, let's say you have some of the legacy application which is supporting your MD5 password encoder, and the latest which you are using is SHA-YUM or SHA-256. So what will happen if we strictly define the password encoder, let's say new bcrypt password encoder, so nothing will happen. But in the time of, if you have a legacy application which support other password, this will be problematic. Then this will be problematic. So that's why Spring has provided us the factory method, so that we don't need to handle all these things. So to create an example, what we can do, we'll use the no-op as a password encoder for one of the user. For another user, we can use the bcrypt. So bcrypt is nothing but password encoder. With this, we need to go to one of the website, and bcrypt hash generator, and go to the post, and our password is, let's say, Mohit. We generate the hash. This is the bcrypt, encoded password. I'll just copy. And if you want to decode this, this is the key, and you know to provide the action, and you'll see if both the hash is getting matched or not. So the same is DMIT spin. So let's just go to here. We will be mentioning bcrypt here, and we will paste the password, and all set. Let's just refresh our application, and just clear the cookies if any cookie is available. Okay, our application is, I guess, some which is know this, and we will first get the contact radio, which is working fine. Just go to accounts, and let's just enter ratio and ratio. This is working fine. So the more password encoder is working fine. Just log out from here, and we'll just put the as another password, which is Mohit and Mohit, and this we are getting. Okay, so the URL was incorrect, contact. So this is also working fine. So to see this, we can also go into the Postman, and what we can do, you can create a new collection. Go into this particular new tab and create a collection and name it. I have named it as bank REST base, and I'll just add a request, and I'll just copy this contacts, copy, and paste it here. This is our contacts, and I just hit enter. This is a public API. No authentication is required. Now let's just duplicate it, and this is our accounts and accounts. So if I hit it, I'm getting 401 authorized. Now to pass the password, because we have enabled the HTTP basic, so we can go to authorization, basic authorization, and we will pass as ratio, and send. We are getting 200. And then we are passing Mohit and Mohan. You can see that Mohit. So both the password improvers are working. So let me just enter some wrong thing. I'm getting 401. And if you go to the console bar, you can see this. So 200, and you can see authorization. One advanced passing authorization. This is the base 64 encoded. Let me just copy this and see what is the actual thing. Base 64 decode. Just paste decode. So you can see my user and password as an encoded form. So, and I can also decode it. This was 200 early request. Copy, paste, decode, 1.1. Okay. So this is what the password encoder does. Okay. Now there is another thing which is pretty much important. So let's take an example. I have a user which is having password as ratio 341. Do you think that this password is already like surveyed on any of these websites? Just refresh the application, and which should not be allowed in by default the Spring Security, because I think this is particularly for 456. So the one for the it should not be. If I go here into my Postman, and I'll just enter ratio password as ratio 1 2 3 4 type. Sorry, 1 2 3 4. 345. So it is gave the response, but do you think that it is good to use the compromised password? Instead, we ask the user to change his or her password, but how we can know the actual compromised password database? Okay. So to work this, we have Spring has provided one class. You can search for compromised password checker. This is an interface. You can get into here, and this is the implementation class. Have I be on the SCP password been checked? So it has API URL. So it has API URL, which is basically responsible for checking the bond password, and these will be utilizing this class to basically check whether the user password is compromised or not. So if I go to our again security config, and I'll just create another bean of your compromised password checker, and I'll just return new. I have I been for password API. So now if I simply run our application and again go to here and just hit enter, and then in 401 other all authorized, and also my password will not run because it is easily guessable, and this is not the way to put the password. And if I go to our contacts page, secure accounts, just log out from here. The previous session was active. If I pressure onto the board, it is now being the invalid credential. So now we are not allowing the users with compromised password, and if we go inside the logs, you can see this login. If I search for, yes, the compromised password exception, the provided password is compromised, please change your password. So this exception is thrown by the provider manager that the entered password is compromised, please change. So I think, and I hope you like the video and like the playlist. Just do subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in our next lecture. And we will be deep into the customization, where we will be moving on this in-memory user creation, deletion, and all this things to the actual database. So see you soon. Thanks for watching.